continue now to think about our under the sea picture. Using shapes we know, we can create a wonderful, wonderful picture. And we're going to take it the next step, not only drawing, but taking it into using watercolors as well. I would begin, before the directed art activity, to show my students some pieces of literature that can support the idea that we can take a shape we've learned and extend it by really just adding a few details, and suddenly we will have a beautiful fish. I have a wonderful story called Sea Shapes by Susie McDonald, which really support put into this particular piece that you're going to be drawing yourselves, is that whatever fish you decide you really like, I'd like you to make a school of those fish on your paper. So for instance, just a little sampling, how once we can draw a star, which is always tricky for me, we can do beautiful starfish. Once we have the idea of how to draw a circle, it can become the eye of a whale or the highlights on the side of any kind of fish. Or it can become a wonderful puffer fish. Once we have a semicircle down, we can draw a jellyfish. And again, our students will find great success just doing a half circle or a semicircle with lines coming off. Very realistic. By using a square, we can... And finally, if we can draw a square, then we can enjoy showing students how we can create a stingray and have, again, wonderful creatures under the sea. I would also enjoy bringing out Lois Ellert's book entitled Fish Eyes. So fabulously colorful, and again, we can point out, along with reading it, how we can use ovals and we can use circles and triangles to be able to create our most beautiful fish. And again, this is a fabulous opportunity for children to see that great diversity of color and just how lovely those fish can be. I would enjoy having them first do a rough draft, and again, taking them step by step with a little directed art, so they can see that if we draw our oval and we put our triangle on the back and a circle on the front, we can have a wonderful fish. That we can put other designs on our fish, but the essence of the shape is very easily accomplished. What I would like them to do is to take a little practice time. Maybe they're going to do a circle, and they're going to do some detailed textured lines inside that circle to make a puffer fish. And again, they can have as much detail as they wish. Giving them time to do a rough draft or to practice doing some drawings of fish and actually having pictures around the room that they can continue to look at to gain ideas would be very important. The only rule that I am going to put into this particular piece that you're going to be drawing yourselves is that whatever fish you decide you really like, I'd like you to make a school of those fish on your paper. So for instance, on my final piece of watercolor paper, I'm going to go ahead and I would be using a pencil, but today, so that you can see me, I'm using a marker. I might decide that I really like this puffer fish. So therefore, I want to put that fish into a school. I might have one coming on to the page, and you can't even see the back of it. I might have one right here. And again, I'm going to put my detail on. And I might have another here. And can you use more than just 3 in your school? Absolutely. But I want you to have at least one school of fish, of similar fish. Now, you don't want to leave the rest of your drawing or your paper empty. You are now going to be able to add any kinds of details and other fish that you would like to use. Perhaps you are going to use a long oval and make one of those pointy fish like we saw in Lois Ellert's book. Maybe you want to add some kelp or seaweed, making your lines come through your page so that we are adding interest to the entire page. You really want your children to be able to see when you are modeling that you're not just using one little corner, but we want to make the entire page interesting. You might want to have your fish swimming at the very bottom of the ocean or in a shallower part of the ocean. So therefore you're going to put some sand at the bottom. However you want to approach this drawing is up to you. I applaud your individuality. Now, once I have my fish drawn onto my page, I want to encourage students to outline their fish and outline the big objects on their page. Outlining with crayon enables, when you are putting your wash on, enables a resist to happen. So therefore it's a very interesting end product. I'm going to now say to myself, I think that's a pretty good picture. I like the way I've filled it up. Now I'm going to use a light colored crayon, either white, light yellow, even a light orange and a light green would work well.